Hot Mess and Harmony. Episode 1. Too successful for love? She's got the job, the apartment, the confidence. So why does everyone act like success is a relationship repellent? From your intimidating men to hide your salary a bit, Rissie has heard it all. And she's had enough of the pressure. But just when she's about to give up on love altogether, Andi walks in. No ego, no fear, just real grown man energy. Hi everyone, welcome to Hot Mess and Harmony. Meet Rissie, a confident, strong African woman in her early 30s. She's got a thriving career, a bubbly personality, but on the social side, she'd just been promoted to creative director at her advertising firm. Rissie was over the moon and ready to share the news with her parents. Her mom was happy for her, proud even, but quickly reminded her about the other promotion she was waiting for. When will you promote me to grandmother? It was an everyday topic, and as the first daughter, the pressure was real. Rissie's younger brothers, David and Ezra, weren't getting the same lectures. David was already married and his wife Amma was expecting their first child. Meanwhile, Rissie's love life had become everyone's business. They said she was too picky, too busy, too successful. Like ambition was a crime and her career came with the giant men keep out sign. She had the job, the apartment, the confidence, yet somehow that made her intimidating. Apparently, being accomplished meant a romantic life should be humble, quiet, and maybe conveniently invisible. From blind date setups with eligible bachelors who thought her job was a hobby to friends suggesting she tone it down, Rissie had seen it all. One date tried to impress her with the number of cars in his driveway. Another dared to ask if she would resign after marriage because he didn't want a career wife. Another split the bill and wouldn't even let her tip the waiter. Ha! The aunties were relentless. Picture this. Sunday lunch, plate of jollof in one hand, four aunties in vibrant Ankara circling her like wedding planners on a deadline, each one thrusting pictures of random men at her. One auntie, with a cracked Nokia 3310, proudly flashing a blurry photo. See this fine lawyer, he's only 45. Her face, polite smile on the outside, internal screaming on the inside. The pressure kept mounting, and after her ex-boyfriend ended a 2-year relationship because he couldn't handle her success, she decided she was done. No more random dates, no more proving she wasn't too much. She would focus on her career, travel the world, and make herself happy. Then came that work trip to Ibadan. At a tech conference, she was seated next to a tall, well-dressed architect named Andi. They exchanged glances, greeted each other, and introduced themselves. For Andi, it was love at first sight. They swapped contact details. Then it was Rissie's turn to give her presentation. They met again at the airport heading back to Lagos. Was it coincidence? Fate? Maybe both. From their first conversation, Rissie had a good feeling. Talking to Andi was refreshing. No ego, no fear, just real grown man energy. The kind that doesn't flinch when you say you're a creative director and doesn't try to compete because he already knows who he is. From the start, he was different. No jokes about needing to relax. No subtle digs about her salary. He leaned in like her words actually mattered. And when he talked about his own dreams, it wasn't small talk. One day he said he'd own the largest architectural tech studio in Nigeria. And her? She'd be running the biggest digital creative agency on the continent. The sky, he told her, is just your starting point, babe. No man had ever spoken to Rissie like that before. Like her big dreams weren't just valid but inevitable. This was different, this was special. Rissie was falling. Of course, Even power couples have their battles, not about money, but about whose jollof reigns supreme. Two steaming pots, one wooden spoon each, the air thick with competition. You dared to say your mom's jollof is better than mine? She challenged. Face it, babe. You're out seasoned, he smirked. No oil flood, no burnt bottom, just greatness. Somewhere between the jollof wars and late night balcony talks, Rizzy realized this man wasn't just in her corner, he was building the ring with her. He didn't just let her wear her crown, he polished it. On a spa date with her best friend Sophia, she spilled all the gist. How Andy made her laugh until her stomach hurt. How he pushed her to dream bigger. How he wasn't just romantic, he was secure. Can a man really have it all? Sophia asked. Apparently, yes, Rizzy answered. Andy can. And that's when it hit her. They were both worth the wait. The woman who refused to shrink and the man who saw that as a blessing, not a threat. Finally, Rissie had a man to take home to her mother, who could not wait to meet him. After a year of courting, Andy asked Rissie to be his wife. Mama Rissie, over the moon. It was going to be the wedding of the year in Lagos. Loud, lavish, and unforgettable. In a world that told Rissie she was too much, her man said, You're just enough. So, can a woman have ambition and affection? Absolutely, but it might require a little patience. And a man who can handle all that you are. This is hot mess and harmony, where career meets culture and where love meets its match. Subscribe for laughter, lessons, and late night rants. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up. See you next week.